Dr. Bob Flower, and this is your Gilchrist International TV station, channel 144. Today we are going to talk a little bit about leadership, and I want you to listen to a letter I prepared for government leaders and government officials, which we're sending out to all Congress and Senate and whatnot. And we call this document Potentia Ultimus. We'll put this up on our website, drbobflower.com. To all government elected officials, and you'll pardon me if I read this. I hope this correspondence finds you all well. We need that status so that you can deal with what we're about to tell you. Who are we? We are intelligists. We are the smartest people in the world. By virtue of the fact we have discovered a human technology which is a prototype to solve problems, provide direction, and clarify issues. Actually, that shouldn't mean anything to you, since solving problems in a selfless manner is not in your wheelhouse. Just so you know, there's a new order of beings entering the world stage. Special people who understand what it's all about, how to lead and how to follow, how to prosper and help others to prosper without giveaways. We can provide the world with laws that are totally foreign to minds such as yours. Your laws, quote, thou shalt not, and thou must do this way, are secondary to these new laws, which say this is how to do it, and this is why we should do it. Rules that work for those who wish to achieve, develop, grow, and become true representatives of a practical spirituality. These laws discount the great restrictors you have burdened our civilization with. Those restrictions: fear, ego, ignorance, and deception, and which dictate your own mindsets. We, the intelligists, have come to these findings by a vote. It was unanimous. You are all dumb. We challenge you one and all to refute this mindset by open debate, personal conference, or any other means you wish. You're all ignorant, lazy, deceitful, self-serving incompetents. Democrats and Republicans alike, liberals and conservatives alike. Your days of deceiving the American and world people are about to end. Democrats, because of your power and control dogma, by virtue of your giveaway and free policies, you have entrained the minds of those who don't know any better. Further, you have denied the people the path and ability to find their special way in the world. Your deceptive practice in attempting to discredit and reject the presidential election is a clear example of your strangulating practice to control others, gain power, and gain self-importance. Republicans, the Insider Club. Under the guise of freedom, you generate wealth for the populace and then take it away by changing the rules and market crashes, thereby harvesting economic power for personal gains. Your attempt to legitimize backroom dealings is despicable. While the Democrats are quite apt at this, Republicans are almost as bad with their special deals and self-serving. Your inability to act, especially when you have total control, is appalling. As for the liberals and conservatives, we have news. Extremes are unhealthy and do not reflect mainstream thinking. Our final message: while many of you are special in one way or another, you are misguided. There is a more valid and virtuous way of doing things. Your mind and your spirit, as well as millions of others, are awaiting enlightenment. The Intelligence Committee to Develop Potential. So this is going out because, quite frankly, we are being duped. These two sides, and this may not be news, but it should be recalled to mind to those that know, that they play us in the middle against these values, these extremes that we all have, one side and another, while they're picking our pockets and self-serving manifestations, which are becoming quite obvious, because as most of them elected officials are not wealthy or millionaires, they certainly come out millionaires. And this has to stop, because the rules are just falling apart. Just like when we started this whole scenario with our master pattern report 10 years ago, and we said that the biggest problem in keeping this country valid and safe and secure and prosperous is in watching the laws, and that the laws will be falling apart from the top down, and that's exactly what's been happening. So those of you who are with me, sign the document, read the document. It'll be posted online under Potentia Ultimus to all government elected officials, and it's on the blog. Okay? And you can put it on your website, or post it, email to your friends, and send a copy to as many representatives as you see fit. Okay, all right. So now let's talk about some other stuff. Some people recently that I met giving a lecture said, how can I realize my true potential? And I just want to give a couple of examples and how you could use that, this in business as well as personally. I think one of the most important things is being honest with yourself. Right? Having values are good, but practicing virtues are more important. You know, we can all have values and say that we're honorable and we're this and we're that, but nobody really is. They just want to think that they are. So it's important that you go into a closet and don't even turn the light on, just go in there and think about yourself. Think about what you are, and then live with that. Try to realize things that you're doing on a daily basis by virtue of that whole thought process about what you are attempting to be, all right? Your soul. But you need to find an identification of your soul before you can really achieve any higher degree of potential, right? So, following virtue and examining your values are tremendously important. And then look at what your true potential might look like. That's very important. I mean, if you're from Bangladesh, you're certainly not going to become president of the United States, and you're certainly not going to be a billionaire. The potential may exist in a very small segment, but chances are that's not what you are or who you are. So, and you shouldn't limit yourself either, but we need to be realistic about where we're going and what the possibilities are. a 80-year-old man is not going to be in sprinting Olympics. Is it possible? Well, you tell me. But there are other potentials that we have before us and within us that we should be examining, and that's the point of what I'm trying to make here. Look at your potentials as you go along, develop them physically and materially. That means being healthier, being stronger, and being wealthier, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually or intuitively, okay? All right, so this brings us to our master pattern section. Our calls have been going right along. Our new process, which I told you about 2 weeks ago, is doing super. We've only had one negative day, and that was not a day of significance. So those of you who might be following or like to follow, just send me an email, and I'll put you on our special email list, and you'll get daily insights as to how to invest. And remember, this process that I'm talking about now is a day-to-day investment technique. This is not a next week or next month or next year. This is how to play the market on a daily or two-day basis. And as I said, we've been playing the S&P 500 very successfully. And if you sign up, send me your email. I'll put you on the list, and I'll provide you with daily insights, and you will then see for yourself what's happening and how we're doing. Okay. I want to remind you that next week we have a very special guest. We have several lined up. The summertime is very difficult, as I've learned, but we will endeavor to bring you some top people. We are working on a number of them, and we hope, if you have any suggestions, please do contact us. You see our phone number or our email, our website, and then let's see what develops. Keep your eyes open for the economy these days. We are, as I said, we believe that we're going to see this market during the summer moving to even newer highs, but we're looking for a setback here towards the fall. Nothing permanent, but it can be hurtful. And we do still believe, although the real estate market is red hot in many areas, in some areas it still is below, and considerably below. I say considerably, 10 to 15% below where it was back in 07 and 08. And not that we're going to return to those levels, but we've been saying for the past year that market looks like it's going to level out. So the rental market is on fire, especially in metropolitan areas, and that may well continue into the near future because of mindsets of the younger people. Okay, nothing positive or negative, just an observation. So base your interest in buying or selling, renting. And by the way, if you have a question about that, give me a call. Now, let me tell you what we are going to be doing. Next week is the 27th. We have our special guest. In 2 weeks, we are going to have a real estate tax specialist on the show, and they're going to tell you all about your taxes, your real estate taxes, and things that you always wanted to know. In 3 weeks, we're going to have a mortgage banker who will answer your questions or tell you all about financing, refinancing, different ways to gain down payments and facilitate your mortgage needs, your financing needs. So for the next 3 weeks, we're looking at having some very interesting people and information for you. And of course, we're going to continue our master pattern report, and we're going to see just how things turn out. Today is one of those questionable days. It's still not over yet, but we're looking to see how this ends up. But in any event, tune in next week. Go to our blog, go to our website, www.drbobflower.com. And we will see you next week. Stay cool.